Good evening. It's Cut Deep. Welcome to Season 6, Episode 5. The theme for Season 6 is Unbridled. We're running this season straight through to election. We're rehashing the issues. We're meeting potential new candidates, and we're crunching the solutions. It's talking season, but we're here only for the action. The concept of Cut Deep was developed with a focus on encouraging the wider public to think more in depth on issues that plague us. Encouraging persons to have a voice and to use that voice to invoke change. Cut Deep is an interactive platform cutting through the noise and political rhetoric. It is raw, uncut, challenging you to think critically. What do the issues mean for us? What part do we play? It is a platform that will move the Virgin Islands toward unified, integrated success. I want to welcome back Blossoms Flores as our support sponsor for Cut Deep. I want to thank those of you who continue to support this platform from behind the scenes. Thank you. Cut Deep is a multi-platform show covering social and political issues in the British Virgin Islands. Its viewership continues to grow, reaching more than 6,000 viewers weekly. It cuts across demographics and captures an international audience. For advertising opportunities, you can email cutdeep@gmail.com or call 284-440-3234. Supporters may also donate to Cut Deep and the issues it supports through our ATH Mobile 284-440-3234 through checks or cash. Donations will be kept confidential. Well, it's me again tonight. You can't seem to get enough of me. However, next week I will resume with my lineup of guests. Let's run down the news for the past week, my take, and much more after this short break.
At Blossoms, our floral experts use their creative flair to design beautiful and exotic bouquets. We are the on-island wedding experts, and for boating enthusiasts, we can help you to add a touch of floral elegance, life, and color to your yacht, mega yacht, both locally and internationally. We've even worked with celebrities. At Blossoms, we continue to deliver smiles and watch our customers bloom.
Yo, everything good there?
Why? This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit, I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I hustle. I watching ball. I even watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Welcome back. It's a brand new season of Cut Deep. It's Season 6, Episode 5. Thank you for joining in this evening. If you're just joining in, I'm in studio tonight on my own, and we'll do a bit of a download on a few areas. If you missed anything, after a couple hours, this live video will be available for viewing, and so you may watch from the beginning. So I'm going to go down the news bits for tonight. That for the past couple weeks, or the past week, just the past week. My first topic that I want to address, and it is a very touchy topic, so I want to be cautious in how I address this topic. For the second year, the government has celebrated our Caribbean brothers and sisters through a unity dinner that happened on Saturday night. I think this function happened. It was on Saturday night. I want to be particularly careful on how I address this topic, but I also want to be myself. I have no problem in celebrating people that have contributed to the development of the BVI, to our successes. What I do have a problem with is the separation of celebration. In that I mean, we have a wide range of demographics or persons living amongst us here in the BVI. In addition to, of course, Virgin Islanders, I find it divisive to select just a particular people to celebrate. It's almost tethering on racist, if you ask me. Racist, prejudice, all those words come into play for me. And it doesn't ring well to me. If we're going to celebrate people that have contributed to a place or society, should we not just select persons overall and celebrate them, period? Why do we have to select a particular people and do it in a particular place? And where did the invitations go out? Who was invited? Who, there was nothing really around this. You didn't know it was happening. If somebody called you and said that it was happening, you can come or whatever. It's almost like it's done in secret. Now, also, who selects the people that are being celebrated, that are being honored? And what is the criteria for honoring? Are we honoring people because they've lived here for a long time? What is the contribution that they have made to society? It definitely cannot be that I've lived here for 30 years and so I will be celebrated. I mean, my dad has lived here for about 60 years. I don't think anybody has reached out to him for a celebration. So how do we select the people that we're celebrating? What is the criteria for this? And why are we doing this in a divisive manner? I find it to be divisive. Should we not celebrate any and everybody that has come to our shores and made a contribution? And I can't say, but I don't see that we honor Virgin Islanders annually either, unless this is happening and I don't know about it. I don't know if you know about it, but I'm always open to being corrected. And if, I can get the names of those Virgin Islanders that are honored every year for their contribution to society in the development of whatever sports program, us as a people, whatever. That is my take on that. I don't have a problem. Again, I do not have a problem celebrating people that have given back to this society. I just don't appreciate the manner in which this particular thing is happening. It breeds divisiveness. It breeds racism, prejudice. Again, those are the words that pop out to me as it relates to this. I know people are going to take this and they're going to say, oh, but she never liked outsiders anyway because she had a lot to say about the regularization program. Again, if we go back to that, I'm not trying to rescue myself from it. My position on it is what it is, and it will always be that. I need to know the criteria for which you will be regularized and what happens to that. Where do we go after that? That's my take on that. That's my take on the situation with the Caribbean Unity Dinner and what the perception of it is. And so we need to understand what we're doing in regards to a unified territory, accepting everybody that lives amongst us and celebrating that in a way that is cohesive and all encompassing. That's my take on that. I want to go to the issue with the moorings, but before I do that, I'm going to talk about the accident that occurred yesterday with the scooter rider and the police vehicle. I have a position on that. I spoke to it on Tola Radio this morning, and I've had a call or two about my position when I referred to it, and I said that my initial position on the matter was that my mind went to a negative place as it relates to that accident. And that has happened because of the way scooter riders are handled just by motorists and by the police, and the videos that we've seen with the police in pursuit of scooter riders, and they're not backing down, and the fact that that could lead to a death. So when I saw that yesterday, and I think other people did as well, your mind went to a negative place. However, I've moved away from that. I've put that on hold. I've stuck a pin in that, and I'm trying to get the information. I'm trying to find out exactly what could have happened, pin all the details together before I give an input, or even not give an input, because as it relates to the details, I've understood that it is now going to be handed over to an outside international, I'm assuming from the UK, source to investigate, which I think is the best thing to do, because I cannot investigate myself. I will never be truthful, I think, to investigate myself. I will leave out something. So I just want to encourage the scooter riders to be more responsible on the road, to wear your gear, follow the road rules, do what you're supposed to do, have your bike's license, wear your helmets, and so forth. Try not to be a menace to society. And I want to encourage the motorists to be respectful of everyone on the roads. The roads are there to be shared. We need to respect each other. If we can't do that on the roads, then we're gonna have deaths like we had yesterday. But in addition to that, when it comes to the scooter riders, your body cannot take that type of impact. So you have to be careful for yourself. You have to take care of the rest traffic around you, all the motorists, and just everybody. Be a bit more respectful and cautious on the road, because the level of deaths that we're having with our young people is heartbreaking. So let us try to respect each other more on the road. I'm going to ask the scooter riders again to be more responsible with your lives. Please. I'm going to take a short break and come right back.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this breaking CCT Live update.
Hello listeners, thank you for joining. I'm Ron Grant reporting for 284 News out of Tortola in the British Virgin Islands with this very special breaking news report. Since the start of 2022, customers have been taking advantage of the 1-month free trial for CCT Live TV and signing up for Fire Fiber Internet. Residents Kyra Powell, Massa Hickinbottom, Carly Cartel, and others have taken to social media to heap praise on CCT for the fiber internet and CCT Live TV. However, we have just been told that the 1-month free trial for CCT Live TV will finish at the end of March. Customers are asked and being advised to go to CCT today and take advantage of this deal before it goes away. Reporting for 284 News out of Tortola in the British Virgin Islands, I'm Ron Grant.
Live stream cable TV is here with CCT Live. Access over 80 channels that you can watch either at home or when you're on the go. And don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Rewind and watch in your own time. Come to CCT today and ask about our 1-month free trial offer. CCT Live. Bring it home.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, do enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer in line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes, son.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut fun topic.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you?
Yes.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Top of power.
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
Welcome back. It's season 6, episode 5. The theme for this season is Unbridled. If you're just joining us, I'm back in studio tonight solo, but I will resume my lineup for guests next week. I'm touching on pressing developments over the past week. If you missed anything, after a couple hours, this live video will be available for viewing, and so you can go back and view from the beginning. So I want to talk about the issue of our tourism product and the PR nightmare that developed last week. So there still is, it's being monitored. The moorings, in addition to, I think, Sunsail and one of our charter companies were they were given fines. The boats, about 180 something boats, were grounded because they weren't in compliance of some regulations that were put in place or that have been on the books and have not been being kept up to date, but now they're trying to enforce, which I don't have a problem with. They're trying to enforce and ensure that the industry is up to par in terms of these regulations. For me, I guess, as in anybody, we all have our differing views on this particular issue. There are views in terms of, whether the charter companies have done what they wanted for so long, and there are certain things that, are coming on the table. But for me, I always want to try to sit in the middle to understand both sides, but most importantly, what will work for the BVI, for our tourism product. And if we think about it, we're still feeling the effects of hurricanes or Maria. The industry is still feeling the effects of that. They were just about to rebound, and COVID gave the industry an uppercut. I'm going to call it an uppercut. So we're still rebounding from that. We're taking a lot of licks with COVID in our downtime, or I don't call them our sister islands, I call them our cousins across the ocean, the U.S. Virgin Islands. They are positioning themselves to take every single bit of bread that we put to our mouths. So they're observing our errors, they're looking at us constantly. And so for me, I think the issue could have been handled a lot differently. At this point in the game, that type of PR fallout and nightmare, we don't need to have that. And when you're thinking about the cost of our industry, and the small amount of fines that were dished out, is it worth it? Is it worth it to take our industry back to its knees? And I'm not saying that the industry should not be up to date and follow regulations. They should. But another thing that we need to understand, and I saw some other things come into play where they talked about illegal workers, inside of the moorings. The moorings couldn't speak to it. There was no other detail that came out about it. So I don't even know if that was true, or we were just looking for something else to add to the pile to make us as the government look better. I don't know. What I know is that we have to learn to look at the holistic, I'm not even gonna say the bigger picture because it's not about money, but the holistic picture, as in how all these entities should work together to ensure that we don't lose our biggest moneymaker or biggest product. We focus a lot on financial services and you know, we try to, when there are regulations that come out for financial services, we fight them to the hilt. But we have to find a way to protect the tourism industry a little bit more. We need to learn to we just can't afford these international fallouts. And that's what I call them, because we're no longer in a cocoon doing these things and nobody's looking. I mean, this evolved and this got out of control online from our guests before the government jumped in and say, oh, let's pull a press conference together. And again, there are things surrounding that press conference that seem to be questionable as it relates to how the manager or director for the moorings even got to that press conference, and the way he was invited, or if he was invited or not, or he was ambushed. I don't know. There's a lot of conversation going on around this. I know everybody always wants to save face, but I think the BVI, we need to start saving face for the BVI in the constant follows that we're having internationally as it relates to our tourism product in particular. We have to consider that. We have to look at it. We need to start making decisions in the best interest of our product from a PR perspective and preserving our product. And all of our entities as it relates to tourism, customs, immigration, the shipping registry, all of these entities need to work together more. I heard John saying that they're working together more, and that's a good thing, but you can't see it, you can't feel it. It just feels like this was a big fallout, and then everybody came to the table to save face. That is a little too late. Okay, there's an understanding that some of the regulations that the moorings were hit with and the other members of the industry came out a month before. They were given a month or 2 weeks to, you know, get their act together. How can you? And if there are things that they need to have on board, say for example the fire extinguishers, etc., can they get that done in the time that you give them? Is it possible? Is it possible with the scenario that we have going on during COVID in terms of shipping and the supply chains and all of that? Is it possible? You know, does it make sense to ground all of these boats or give them fines? Or I don't know. But I think we need to be more responsible in the way we make decisions and how we come to the table, and our respect for everybody inside of the industry. Moving on, there was a shooting outside of Bobby's, and I think that this was, I'd say, high evening. So high evening is like between 7 and 8. A high shooting outside of Bobby's. Gunshots penetrated the businesses around. Gunshots penetrated Bobby's supermarket. I understand 2 people have been arrested. No charges have been laid. The alarming thing for me is how commonplace this type of criminal activity has become. How we are no longer outraged that, wow, shots were fired in public, in the middle of town. You know, people could have lost their lives, and we are no longer outraged by this. I don't know what that says to us about us as a small community. What we're doing to start to even figure this out. I mean, we had a murder in broad daylight last year. A young man was shot just across, right by International Motors. Gunshots penetrated. It was high afternoon when buses were going home with our school children and so forth. And we were outraged for a couple days, if that much. There was no outrage about this shooting outside of Bobby's. I don't feel we cannot just sit back and think that, it was a shooting. We need to be outraged about these things. One more life taken. Even that we seem to don't care about anymore. It's just, oh, he died. Or, you know, this person was killed. We're going to send up all the hearts and I'm so sorry, I'm going to miss you and this and this and that and that. But what are we really doing to curtail this level of crime? All of us are connected to each other. We're all related. We know everybody. Aren't you guys hurt and burdened by how many lives have been lost in this territory? Brutally, cruelly, whatever they're involved in. I feel like we're rotting at our core and we don't even care. We're just all settled like, oh, it is what it is. They're in this lifestyle, so this is going to happen. Oh, our children need to learn to control their anger. What are we going to do? Honestly, we need to figure out our social issues in this territory so that we can deal with these criminal issues. They're stemming from somewhere, and we need to get to the root, the core of the problem. I know that I am heartbroken every single time a life is taken in the BVI, every time we have such a careless act of criminality. That really bothers me as a Virgin Islander, because growing up here, we don't know anything about that. And for us to be so comfortable in accepting that, it really, really, really worries me. It's burdensome to my soul. And I hope that there are more of you out there that feel exactly the way I am feeling. We'll take a short break and come right back.
The wait is over. CCT Fire is here. Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. CCT Fire. Bring it home and upgrade today.
Is business slow, cash flow down, hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media at cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
At Blossoms, our floral experts use their creative flair to design beautiful and exotic bouquets. We are the on-island wedding experts, and for boating enthusiasts, we can help you to add a touch of floral elegance, life, and color to your yacht, mega yacht, both locally and internationally. We've even worked with celebrities. At Blossoms, we continue to deliver smiles and watch our customers bloom.
Welcome back. It's Cut Deep, Season 6, Episode 5. If you're just joining, I'm back in studio solo tonight. I wanted to go down some of the headlines that we had for the past week. I will be back with my lineup of guests starting next week. I'm touching on some issues tonight, pressing developments that have occurred over the past week. If you miss anything after a couple hours, this live video will be available for viewing, and so you may watch from the beginning once it has wrapped. I want to touch on, so I've touched on the moorings, I've touched on the Caribbean Unity dinner, our scooters, the shooting outside of Bobby's. I'm just going to say quickly, because there was just a quick, well, you know how we are. Everything has some kind of underhandedness going on, but some members of our House of Assembly are out of the territory and they're in the UK, and I understand that they're observing Parliament, the function of Parliament, how Parliament works, and so they're out of the territory for a bit. Long Bay Beach, Beef Island, Long Bay Beach on Beef Island. So there's a meeting scheduled there's a community meeting scheduled. There are two. Actually, there's one tonight that's via Zoom or via social media. And then there's a physical one that's scheduled for Thursday at 6:30 at the Willard Weekly School, which I will be in attendance because I have my questions for the government on this project, or for whoever is hosting the meeting. What is on the table? So they are looking at the vendor setup of the beach, and I guess regularizing or putting forward how it should work. I know that they want the vendors that are there now to move to other locations. I don't see the reason behind of it, so I'm keen to go to the meeting and ask my questions and get a better structure and a better idea of what they're putting forward, because as far as I'm concerned, the area that the vendors are occupying right now, I mean, that's the commercial area of the beach. It's always been that. I don't see that the vendors have done any destruction per se to the greenery or the natural habitat or form of the beach. They haven't cut down trees or anything. They maybe have cut down some branches, and that cannot hurt trees. So I'm waiting I want to understand exactly why the vendors that are there now, why they need to move. I understand they're going to be pushed back further. I don't think that's feasible for customers, or, you know, interacting with customers and, you know, having a good day at the beach. So I'm going to sit in on the meeting. I'm going to have my questions. I'm going to report back to you, of course, after that. So if you're able to, especially anybody from District 7 or 8, I would say, if you can tune into the live tonight. I think that one is 6:30 as well, and the one at the Willard Whitley Primary School. I don't know if they're going to have it inside in the small staff room, or they're going to have it outside, so, you know, as many people as possible can attend. So I'm looking forward to that meeting and how the layout of the Long Bay Beach will go as it relates to further development and enhancement of that area. There is a immigration and immigration detention. It has become a hot topic because we continue to see immigrants, what's the word? I'm having a blonde moment. We continue to see immigrants get away from detention. And so they seem as if they're trying to ramp up the facilities at which, or the hotels or whatever, at which they hold the immigrants, illegal immigrants. $1.3 million was passed for immigration, detention, food, security, etc. And so the tender process was waived in passing that $1.3 million. I don't know why the tender process was waived. There are a few different vendors within that money to give services for this particular thing, but I don't know why the tender process was waived. I feel like $1.3 million is a lot of money, and it should have gone through the tender process. However, I'm not going to exert too much energy on that. You guys know how I feel about good governance, etc. So I'm not going to rehash all of that. What I would say, though, is that $1.3 million a year for immigration detention, for food and so forth, that's a really high number. What I would like to know is, what are we looking to do in terms of creating something more permanent? Are we looking to build a detention center? Or are we going to be paying out throwing this $1.3 million down the drain? Because I consider it, once you're not building your own thing, you're throwing this money down the drain every year? Are we looking to build a detention center? Are there any government buildings or facilities that we can turn into a temporary detention center for these immigrants that we need to retain on arrival if we have to? What is the answer outside of this $1.3 million to just give out to hotels and food vendors and so forth? Is there a more permanent plan that we can look at? On that, I'm going to take a short break and come right back.
Live stream cable TV is here with CCT Live. Access over 80 channels that you can watch either at home or when you're on the go. And don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Rewind and watch in your own time. Come to CCT today and ask about our 1-month free trial offer. CCT Live. Bring it home.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, I can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I huff. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
At Blossoms, our floral experts use their creative flair to design beautiful and exotic bouquets. We are the on-island wedding experts, and for boating enthusiasts, we can help you to add a touch of floral elegance, life, and color to your yacht, mega yacht, both locally and internationally. We've even worked with celebrities. At Blossoms, we continue to deliver smiles and watch our customers bloom.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, do enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes, Sonny.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Over there. You must have cut fun topic.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you?
Yes.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
Welcome back. If you're just joining me, I'm back in studio tonight solo, but I'll resume with my lineup of guests next week. I'm touching on some pressing developments over the past week. If you miss anything, after a couple hours, this live video will be available for viewing, and so you may watch from the beginning. Quickly, I'm just going to touch on the gas prices. They seem to be, should I say, regularizing again? They seem to be going back down a bit. And I'll just say that this is the opportunity. The Premier had his press briefing last week and he gave instructions. I'm understanding that the, I don't want to call it a committee, the agency, I'm going to say agency that should be set up to facilitate The consumer protection legislation that has been passed in the House is now set up. And so we're going to look for how that progresses and some relief for the consumers across products, across the supermarkets, across the gas stations, just in consumerism, period. We're going to look to see how that agency is functioning. A dead body was found and on the Greenland field today. By the time, I don't know if there's foul play involved or what has happened. I guess we will get more information as time goes on, as more information comes out and the police does their investigating and so forth. But yeah, a dead body was found on the Greenland field today. While we're talking about that, I want to close on the issue of those two missing young men. Their families are grieving. Their families are looking for answers. I understand that they are not getting any support or information from the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force. The police force has said that they are following leads. As far as the family is concerned, nobody's in touch with them. They send leads to the police. Nobody's following up with them, and they just don't know what's going on. So I just want to appeal to the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force to work a little closer with this family. I mean, they're in pain, as in anybody would be in pain in trying to figure out what happened to their loved ones. I don't want to speak to anything that they might have been involved in or all the rumors or whatever. The Royal Virgin Islands Police Force, you need to work a little closer with families, be more accommodating of them, okay? Because they're grieving over their loved one. This isn't the first time that I am being given this type of information where, you know, the police force is not in touch with families or they're not handling a matter in the manner that, you know, is beneficial or helpful to a grieving family or a family that's in pain. I'm going to stop on that for tonight. I'm going to thank you for tuning in tonight. We are in talking season and we're definitely on the road to elections. Do not take that for granted. I am telling you guys that election is close. It's not going to go into next year. I want to encourage voters and residents to be mindful of what is said, actions put forward at this late stage, and the regular rhetoric that will come with election season. If you are not registered to vote, I encourage you, I implore you to do so as a matter of urgency and priority. If you've turned 18 already for the year, if you've turned 18 at the latter part of 2021, go and get registered to vote. No, you cannot just turn up at the polls and vote. You must be registered to vote. If you're listening to me internationally or international voters, call the office of the voters registration office. Call the office and ensure that your name is still on the list if you intend to come home to vote for election. Go and get registered to vote. All of my 18-year-olds that have just turned 18, those of you that turned 19, since the last election, those of you that have become of age, 18 and up, that can vote, go and get registered to vote. Always be a part of voting, always. It is the only, at this point, way that you can decide the future of the territory. Yes, I hear the conversation from those who have decided not to go to the polls and who have decided they will no longer vote. Not going to the polls is also a vote. It means you're good with the status quo. Don't be fooled. We all hold a responsibility to this territory, to our children and future generations to continue to fight for better living conditions, infrastructure, basic necessities, better cost of living, education. We deserve it, and our future generations deserve a fighting chance. Remain vigilant, remain aware, understand the issues, and seek true solutions. Put on your thinking caps and make it make sense for you. If it's not adding up Toss it out or ask as many questions as you can until it makes sense. Be responsible with your vote and make use of your voice. Until next week, see you then.